It's day 3, and I'll tell you what, everywhere we have gone in Ohio, there's dogs barking everywhere. It's not even just me, it's all of us, everywhere.
You hike as far back as you want.
There's
you
dogs.
can still hear a freaking dog.
But Chase is sleeping at the cabin. Ryan's at where he saw those deer yesterday, and me and Chris are kind of hunt around there. So we're gonna see what today brings for Ohio day 3.
Y'all.
We're at the tree, November 25th, 7 a.m. So here's where everybody is set up. The road goes down this way. There's a mountain point that comes out this way. There's a mountain point that comes out this way. Right where they meet back there is where Ryan is. And this mountain that comes over here, Chris is on a point. There's a creek. And then I'm on mountains that go this way. Ryan saw 4 bucks over there yesterday and a few doe. One of them was a huge buck. And that's right where we saw that huge buck when we went to the laundromat 2 days ago. Hopefully we picked the right spots. I mean, there's just no diversity in here as far as vegetation. And we're just kind of guessing off topography where it's set up. So I'm set up on this little point finger that goes down. Over here's the north. We have a south wind going down here. There's a little bowl here in front of me. I kind of just picked this spot to observe and hopefully just maybe see something and getting some intel of where these bucks are moving in here, because there's just, like I said, there's no diversity or transition lines from like a clear cut or pine trees. It's all just oaks and little saplings. But Ryan said there's a lot of acorns over there, and that's the only acorns that we have really found there and where he saw deer the first day. We're thinking those deer are just keying in on that, so hopefully there's some acorns around here. I didn't see really any when I was coming in the dark, but fingers crossed for day 3. Alright, so it's 12 o'clock right now. I got out of the tree probably around 9 and just slowly walked. It's pretty windy today. The leaves were a little wet. I could sneak around really well. So I just walked around. I didn't see a single deer, not a single tail. Saw 1 squirrel. Saw some rubs. Some of them were fresh, some were old. Found 1 bed that was definitely a doe bed. And that was it. These guys are up on this hill right here, and I was just over here across the creek. Ryan has a nice buck bedded 30 yards from right now. Chris saw a 9-point, had him at 5 yards at first light, but he I don't know, he didn't have an arrow knocked or something, and the buck walked off before he got a shot. I don't know. And then Chris saw some does, and then he had a buck run by him, and he has some does below him right now. And Chris is literally right on the other side of this. And I was just over there, and there's nothing. Those guys are seeing a ton of squirrels as well. So there's a ton of deer on this little hill. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to camp, see if Chase is around. There's public land around the camp, and he has his tree stand and bow. I don't know if he's venturing off or he's still napping. I'm gonna see if he's still around. I'll pick him up. And I'm just gonna go on the other side of this. There's a road on the other side, about 2 mountains over. And I'm gonna try to access it from that way. There's a good wind for me to do that, and I won't mess these guys up. So that's the plan. It's also 56 degrees right now and rising. It's so hot out. I can't believe it. It's like 1:30 right now. I picked Chase up. He's up the creek and around the mountain from me. So this mountain goes up and down to another creek. Chris is down here. Ryan's up there. And then that mountain makes a big horseshoe around to this mountain. So how these hills are, I say they're mountains, but they're really just hills. You have the top coming down, and it's just like a saw blade, in and out with ridges, little fingers coming off. So right here is one of those. It's just this ditch. And then you have a point that comes out right here and tucks back in. And over here you have a point that tucks back in. But right here there's this ditch. I'm going to sneak up this ditch, go right to the top of it, and set up. I just got set on the tree. It's almost 2 o'clock right now. I crawled my way up this ditch real slow. And got set up right at the top of this ditch. There's a nice rub right here. And it seems like there's like a 20-yard span, like right here where these deer would cross through here. Chris said he saw 1 more doe, and I haven't had an update on Ryan, what happened to that buck that was bedded by him. But Chase is set up here somewhere, and I'm feeling really good about tonight, even though it's about 60 degrees. I think at least one of us will be able to see a buck. Probably Chris and Ryan, but you never know. I can get everything but a deer to use these terrain funnels. Little red fox kid looking for squirrels and chipmunks. And now he's got all the squirrels fired up. I saw that fox again, like 30 minutes later. Came bucking off this ridge and just tackled something down here. That's gonna do it for day 3. Ended up having probably a 120-inch buck walk this ridge top above me. It's pretty rare. You don't really see too many nice bucks just walking along a ridge top like that, skylining himself. You definitely don't see mature bucks doing that. That's why I like to set up down below the ridge. But he was just cruising along that ridge top. It looked really cool with him silhouetted against the sunset. That was really cool to see, but very surprised to see him doing that. I'm gonna get down, round up the gang, see what they have to say, and then we're gonna eat some chili. Night 3, dinner. Chris made some chili. Is it venison?
Yep.
Which buck?
New York.
New York buck. How's your day today in the woods?
Long. Cold.
You saw some deer though.
Saw some deer. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
It was a day. Corn muffins.
Chase had my corn muffins.
Your corn muffins.
Yeah, they aren't my corn muffins. But Chase had them. I was really worried about them. Chase, how was your day in the woods?
Oh, just another day of seeing no deer.
You slept in until noon. How's the chili, Captain?
It was pretty tasty. It turned out pretty good. It was the first time I ever made chili.
It's day 4 of hunting in Ohio. Today is November 26, 2019. Today is the last full day we can hunt. We have a lot of rain coming tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's the day we're going to leave, so not sure if we'll hunt in that rain. It looks like a pretty heavy rain coming, but we'll see. But this might be the last hurrah to get it done. We've gained a lot of intel. Going back in here to this mountain where me, Chris, Ryan got into some deer yesterday. Chase didn't see any deer. I don't think he was up high enough on the mountain, but so I drew up the map of the mountain on the back of a donut box. Everybody marked where they were sitting and where they saw deer moving. Chris saw the most deer yesterday. He was on the point right up here to my left, and most of the deer are moving down the bottom below him a little bit. Not the whole way to the creek, but kind of on the side hill below him. So I'm probably gonna hunt that until about 9, or at least until the wind starts swirling, and then I might have to get back on the top. Chase is gonna be somewhere to the west of me on the same mountain, and we're gonna see what happens today. Fingers crossed, double fingers crossed for today. Hopefully there's a buck that wants to walk in range of either of us, and we can get it done here in Ohio. This hen up here behind me, clucking. She probably sees me. Probably 10 minutes ago I had a doe get spooked and run down that creek with her tail up. I didn't know what was spooked her. I looked down there just now, and there's someone's beagle running around down there. There's nobody around. There's just a beagle running in that creek. What? This trip has been different, that's for sure. Been seeing big bucks driving around and even hunting. I saw a bobcat, fox. Some of the guys saw fox squirrels, beagle, turkeys. Oh, hiya. You're keeping us entertained, that's for sure. Alright, it is the evening of day 4, November 26, 2019. Chris is being very generous in coming to film me tonight. I'm very thankful for that. Today I hunted across the valley on the other mountain where he hunted yesterday. I only saw one doe, a beagle, a bunch of turkeys over there. Then around midday, we did a drive. Chris and Ryan did a drive to me and Chase. But I thought the drive was over, so I put my camera away. But those guys had quite a bit more to do, and I ended up having a coyote come in 20 yards. And where I was set up, it was really thick, and I just couldn't get a shot, and I couldn't get him to stop. So I'm pretty bummed about that. Chris is shaking the tree right now, trying to get a stand in. But for this evening, back over here where I hunted yesterday, and I saw that nice buck. I was sitting down the ridge when I saw him, and he walked right here. There's an old logging road right here, set up 3 yards from it. Chase is set up down there where he was yesterday, but he's up the hill a little farther. We're gonna see what happens. Since this rain's coming tonight, hopefully these deer want to move before it, so once again, the fingers are crossed for another evening in Ohio. Alright, and day 4. Me and Chris saw that fox again. That was it. Chase saw the fox and he saw doe on the walk in. We'll see what tomorrow morning brings. There's rain coming. I don't know. I'll definitely sleep in if it's pouring. We gotta hit the road tomorrow, go back home for some Thanksgiving food. What are your thoughts on Ohio?
I'm sleeping in either way.
Ryan,
What?
what'd you make?
Steak. Venison steak. No, I just sizzled it up a little bit.
It does smell like maple syrup.
Yeah, it's the Smokehouse McCormick Smokehouse Maple.
You know, it's
This segment of Hardway Outdoors is brought
nice
to you.
Ad placement.
it's nice enough that we can eat outside too. Which is
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like the second week. It feels like the second week.
Dude, we were crawling.
Look at that steak.
Yeah, man.
Who's eating that? Me.
No, you're gonna split it with Chase. Everybody gets a butterfly and half one of these big ones.
Alright, it is day 5 of the Ohio trip. It's around 8 in the morning right now. The other guys are sleeping in. It's kind of raining, like 16, 20 mile an hour winds right now. I just kind of wanted to come out one last time, maybe give it a go. But this wind's ripping pretty good, so I'm just going to drive around for a little bit, maybe see a big buck. That'd be awesome to kind of end the trip with a nice big buck. But so I just jotted down a few things of what I learned on this trip. So first off, I would say when I was looking on a map of this area before we even came here, I was trying to pick the most remote areas, places farthest away from the roads, looking for terrain funnels on those places far away from the roads. And because that's what I do in PA. I like to go back in deep and mess around, kind of be in solitude with myself and just try to figure things out in the big woods. Well, we're limited to 4 or 5 days here to hunt. We really didn't have time to figure out those big woods. That's what I did the first day, and Chris did the first and second day. And I got on some deer and Chris got on some deer, but it's like we didn't have enough time to figure those woods out. So then it kind of clicked like, hey, we don't have time to do this. We got to focus on these smaller tracts of public land, near private land, stuff like that, stuff not as far from the road. After that first day, we got all wet. We were driving a laundromat. We saw that really big buck. Ryan hunted in there, saw all these nice bucks, and then we all kind of just funneled around that area because we just thought, like, why would we leave all of these deer to go find more deer? It's when we only have 2 days left to hunt, maybe. So that's what we did there. A few things that I was expecting would be definitely more cornfields. We saw like one cornfield near here. It's just mostly big open woods, with some autumn olive here and there, clear cut here and there. If you're lucky, some pine trees, you know, but mostly just open woods. If I had to like compare it to something, I'd say it'd be like the Allegheny National Forest in Pennsylvania. Like that's pretty similar to how these woods are here. Another thing I was expecting from Ohio would be a higher deer population. I thought we'd come here and just be all over deer, and there'd be a ton of deer here. So another thing I was expecting out of Ohio would have been a higher deer population. So another thing that I expect out of Ohio would have been a higher deer population. I thought we'd be coming out here and just be swamped in deer, and it wouldn't be that tough to find them. But man, it was a lot lower population than I definitely expected to be hunting. And I think all four of us agreed on that, and we all hunt different areas of the state pretty much. Chris hunts southeast, south central, and north central. I hunt central, north central, and Ryan hunts central, and Chase hunts south central. And we all agreed that PA definitely had a higher deer population than this specific area of Ohio. But another thing we all agreed on is that Ohio definitely has more quality bucks. Like in the 4 days that we actually hunted out here, we saw 6 bucks that were over 120, and 3 of those were from the car. But still, you could drive in PA for like a whole year and not see a 140 off the side of the road. But here we saw all these nice bucks out here, so that was really cool to see. So another thing I was really surprised with is that we only saw 2 other archery hunters, and we saw 1 youth hunter on Saturday. This is the 3rd and 4th week in November, so it's just coming off the 1st and 2nd week in November when the rut is, and that's when most people are out here hunting. I'm sure there was just a ton of people out here before us giving these deer a bunch of pressure. But right now, 3rd and 4th week, we only saw 3 hunters total for hunting 5 days, so I was really surprised with that. That was nice to see. For us to come out here and get on all the deer that we did right after possibly the most pressured season that these deer are going to see all year. It's either the rut or their rifle seasons, the most pressure these deer are going to see from humans. For us to come out here right after that, right after the rut, and get on some deer and some nice bucks, that is pretty cool to me. I think that makes a trip very successful. So another thing I like to tell myself is never define a hunt successful based on if you got something or not. Although that's awesome and definitely a successful hunt if you did get something. But it can also be a successful hunt if you didn't get anything. To me, a successful hunt would be if you learned something. What did you take from the woods? Did you become a better hunter from the time you walked in to the time you walked out? And I think every hunt that each of us had in Ohio here, we walked out of the woods a better hunter, and that made it a successful trip for us. So very pleased at the outcome of the trip. We ate some good food, had a lot of good laughs, and gotta go back to Pennsylvania, eat some more good food for Thanksgiving, and then be back at it for rifle season on Saturday. So, but thank you all for watching. I really appreciate all the support that I'm receiving and all the great feedback. It means the world to me. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next video.
Chris is in the bathroom. The Ohio Grassman's gonna scare him. Grassman hungry for bearded boy. Oh, we smoked it.
It's the Ohio Grassman. Aw, heck, it's the Ohio Grassman. So thank you. Oh no, he's coming for my booty.